Hi guys, Happy New Year. I know it's probably too late to be telling you Happy New Year. 31st of January, but anyway, it's still a new year, and mine has sort of started on a high note. I think I'm very optimistic about everything. Yeah, so get ready with me for a date. I was doing my makeup for a date that I ended up not going to for reasons that actually are best. No, I'll just say I just ended up not going to because the guy was late. And I know it sounds, to some people, it might sound like it's petty, but for me, when especially if it's a date or something, like just the value of time, I consider time to be very valuable, and I know it's valuable to everyone. But as a recovering people pleaser, or if you're a people pleaser, I know you notice that sometimes we tend to sit in situations and to do things that make us uncomfortable just to make others comfortable. If you get what I'm saying. So, for instance, someone would ask you, "Do you want to sit?" I say, "No, I'm okay standing." "Do you want to eat?" "No, I'm okay." But in real sense, you're not okay. But you just want to be, and you tend to like be in situations that make you uncomfortable, just to make other people feel comfortable. Same applies to time. Maybe someone is late and they're keeping you, and then they'll come and they just brush that off, and you pretend to be okay, but in real sense you're not okay. So I'm trying, as a recovering people pleaser, meaning it's still a process, it's just things that I'm working on. You tend to maybe see your people pleasing aspects in every situation and in every way. So basically, you 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 tend to do things that make you uncomfortable but make other people comfortable. So this means you don't consider yourself. The reason I ended up not going to this date is because I just felt like my time was not respected, and he did not respect the effort and the amount of time I put into this and preparing, doing my makeup and all. So I just felt like my time was not respected. That is basically it. That is the whole reason as to why I didn't. I ended up not going. There's no other explanation. Yeah. So if you maybe haven't heard about people pleasing, or you don't know anything about people pleasing, it's basically just you doing things for others. Maybe people who wouldn't do the same for you, and at the same time doing things expecting something in return without communicating what you expect in return. So for instance, maybe your mostly you find like maybe for friends or maybe relationships. I think mostly in relationships you tend to do things that make your partner like you more, or make people like you, your friends to like you, not, let me just say, not being yourself, which for me, I've come to realize that it's sort of manipulation. Like you don't you're not like, I wouldn't want to say that you're not your authentic self, but most of the time you end up doing things for them and not for you, like for their own good, and nothing benefits you from this. So maybe you do something for someone and expect them maybe to say thank you, and they don't say thank you. So it hurts you that they did say thank you. It's because you are expecting them to say thank you. So the fact that you're expecting them to say thank you is what brings the people pleasing aspect, because you actually did that expecting something in return. I don't know if you're like grasping the whole aspect of these people pleasing stuff. Um, it's it's a work in progress. I believe that people pleasing mostly stems from maybe our childhood, maybe our childhood traumas and everything. Some of the things that some people, their people pleasing comes from maybe their parents. You find that when you were younger, when you did anything nice to someone, your parents would applaud you, and like you like be applauded for doing nice things to people. But when you're just seated, you're just calm and not doing anything, nobody would say anything to you, because they made it seem like you always have to be doing something for someone in order for them to be pleased. Sometimes people pleasing from the parental aspects comes from, like, maybe your parents like had this. Sorry, guys. Like you literally do things so that your parents could see that, like, you're actually a good person, or like maybe you're, like, just to prove to people that you're a good person. I, yeah, basically to prove to people that you're a good person. And that's why I'm saying it's manipulative, in terms of, like, if you're a good person, you don't need, like, to go above and beyond to show that you're a good person. Like, for instance, in friendships, you'd be doing the most for maybe someone who didn't even do anything for you. So, for instance, let's say, like, you are in a friends group, or you are friends with someone, and you're always constantly trying to make them see why they should be friends with you, why they should just always trying to prove a point, always trying to, like, make them see the good side of you. It's actually, like, always just being on toes. For instance, your friend is going through an emotional, maybe, breakdown, maybe they're having a bad day. Now you decide to take it upon yourself to be, like, the person who makes their day. So, like, you want to do everything above and beyond to make sure that your friend has a great day, which is maybe, like, that's how you put everything down. You put everything, like, everything that concerns you, just to make sure that your friend feels better. That is a people pleasing aspect, if you didn't know. Like, now you stop doing everything, and now you're focusing on making this person's day a great day. If the person ends up not having a great day, you feel even worse for not being able to get them to where they wanted to be. So it's sort of emotional, and it becomes so emotional, and you become attached to people in a way that you always feel like you can do anything for them, but in real sense, deep down, you'd want them to do the same, but they don't do the same. So that's why you're constantly, like, trying to prove that you deserve to be treated that way. In real sense, it's just how you feel inside, how you'd want things to be, or how you would want to be treated in hindsight. And I've also come to realize that people pleasing can come in so many aspects. It doesn't just have to be friendships, it can be at your workplace, like, everywhere. Your workplace, your friendship, in church, at home. So, for instance, at your workplace, there's something that needs to be done at your workplace, and there's so many people at your workplace, but you always want to be the one doing it. So the fact that you just want to be the one doing it, and there's everyone there there's someone else who could do it, but you prefer being the one doing it. You just feel guilty for not doing it, so you do it. That's also people pleasing. Like, you're trying to do things that literally anyone else could do. So the solution is just to rest. Rest. You cannot be Superman in everyone's life. Stop trying to be Superman, and that's what I'm trying to like to stop. Like, I'm trying to, like, teach myself that things can be done even when you're not there. Like, you don't always have to be present and always have to be doing stuff. Always have to be in motion, in action, like, doing things and everything, so that things can happen. So it's okay to rest and know that other people can do things. You don't always have to do the things, because it's like, when you do something and it doesn't, like, it doesn't get validation. When you do something and you don't get the validation of what you did, it actually hurts you more. It feels like you're not appreciated. You tend to feel like you're not appreciated for the effort you're putting in, and maybe just knowing that other people maybe do not think the way you think. Uh, and yeah, just know that people don't think the way you think. Maybe you feel like you're not being appreciated, but some people don't even notice the things that you're doing. So like, stop being Superman in every situation. That's what I'm trying to teach myself. And just to let things happen. Sometimes if it gets to the point of letting everything just be, just let people be and let everyone be. For instance, not for instance, sorry. For let's let's just say people are worrying about themselves. Nobody is worrying about you, so you worry about yourself and stop worrying about people. After like coming to that realization, you'll realize that everyone is actually minding their business, and all these things that you try to constantly do and try to constantly like do to just affirm yourself, or to make people like affirm you, or to make people like you, not even make people like you, or just to make your friends like you or something, are not even necessary, because 90% of the people are not even noticing that until maybe you say like, I did this, I did this, I did this, and it becomes like you're seeking validation for something that you did, and something that you yeah yeah, you're just seeking validation. And what I've come to notice is, in sorry guys, let me tell you about the makeup bit first. So I was doing the everything like, I wanted to do a one layer makeup look. And for this look, it's just where you put everything else at once. You put the concealer, the contour, the foundation, everything, but everything in small amounts. And then you start out by blending out the darkest shades coming onto the lightest shades as the last. So here I started, with the contour, and then after the contour I came to the foundation. After the foundation, now you come and blend out your concealer. The more you leave this concealer to sit, the creamier it becomes. This is the Maybelline Edge Rewind concealer. It's literally the best concealer ever. The good thing about this technique is that everything blends out so seamlessly, and you cannot differentiate where one thing starts and where one ends. If you put concealer, you will not be able to see where it starts or where it ends. Same to the contour, like everything just blends in nicely and becomes so soft. The blend is soft and seamless. That's the secret behind this. And you literally have like a full face of makeup but no layers. That is what it means. You have no layers but a full face of makeup. If you're not a pro, I'd advise that you use very little concealer, and try to use a concealer that's your exact shade, or a shade lighter. Don't go 2 or 3 shades lighter. Just do a shade lighter or your exact shade, just to be able to blend it out nicely. Yeah. So guys, as I was telling you guys, healing your people pleasing is kinda, it's a challenge, because every time you say no to something, you will feel guilty, and every time you say no to someone, or someone you care about, or something that you used to do, you have this guilt that maybe, yeah, you just feel so guilty. And the solution is just to sit in the guilt. The healing comes from sitting in the guilt. Just feel guilty tomorrow, feel guilty another time, and then feel guilty until it becomes now, and until now it becomes like, now the guilt now stops becoming guilt, and you actually just feel nice for not you feel like you're starting up for yourself whenever you say no to something, because as a people pleaser, saying no is like, I don't know, like it's usually so hard for people to say no. And whenever you say no, there's just this guilt that you're faced with each and every time you say no. You'll start questioning if that was being kind, it was like rude, nini. So kindness and people pleasing are one and not the same thing. They're not the same things. There's a difference between being kind and being a people pleaser. That when someone asks you to do something constantly, knowing that they can take advantage of the fact that you wouldn't say no, that is like they know you're a people pleaser and you'll do that. But when you have to do something, there's a difference between doing things out of kindness. This is how I tell it. When you are doing something expecting something in return, like maybe you're doing something expecting someone to tell you thank you, you're doing and expecting someone to tell you wow, you did a great job, that is people pleasing. But when you're doing it without expecting anything, like you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, now that is different. Now that's doing it out of kindness just doing it out of kindness and not doing it in order to seek validation. If you're doing something to make someone feel better, if you're doing something to make someone like you there's always a reason as to why you're doing something. There's something you're expecting in order for you to do something. After you've done something, you expect someone to tell you thank you. Like you're expecting to be given your flowers. So that just means like you're seeking validation from people. You just want like to prove to people that you're a nice person. And trust me, if you weren't a good person, you wouldn't even be doing those things. So that means you're already a good person. The fact that you think of doing those things, you're a good person. You don't need to prove that you're a good person to people in order for you to like feel good about yourself. To feel good I feel like people pleasing, it's actually just you trying to feel good about yourself, trying to feel that I'm actually a good person to yourself, meaning you do not believe you're a good person, you're not there yet, like you're trying to do these things to prove to yourself that you're actually a good person. Also, you're trying to do this to prove to people that you're trying to that you're actually a good person, to try to prove to your friends, your in your relationship, your spouse and everyone, that you're trying to prove something. As long as there's a point you need to prove, just know that it's people pleasing and you need to stop. Yeah, we're stopping people pleasing this. We're learning to say no. And when things don't meet up to what we want, you don't have to do it. For instance, you could be saying, you could be maybe in a crowd and these people like maybe dancing, they like drinking, they like, I think those are extremes. Let's just say there's a movie that people are watching and you don't like the movie, but you want to but if they ask you, do you like this movie, you're like, yes, I like the movie. But in real sense, you don't even enjoy those movies. Like for me, I don't enjoy animations these days. I used to back in the days when I was young. But if someone asks me, do you like animations, I'd just say yes. But in real sense, I don't even enjoy them. I don't enjoy those movies anymore. I don't enjoy any fiction movies. But maybe someone asks you if you can watch a certain movie that maybe I don't like, I'll just say I like it, so that maybe I can watch it with them. Also, when people are quiet, you're constantly trying to find something to say, something to just do to keep on the conversation going. Like you're trying to like just find something, like you feel awkward when it's silent. You feel awkward when it's silent, and you just feel like there's a need to continue with the conversation. You're not digging a conversation, like it's just not your vibe, but you continue going on with the conversation regardless of the fact that you're not enjoying that conversation. That is extreme people pleasing. Yeah, guys. Anyway, that's it. Let me just leave it there. We'll unpack maybe later on such topics and stuff as we progress. And it's